He's bulletproof. Arabian Summer went to the front, 150 metres to go. Ray Magnerio and sees bulletproof, and Jimmy Starrer coming hard. Sees bulletproof, and Jimmy over the top has dropped from the sky to win.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot, and I've got John Walter in studio. Just had a bee, I chased a bee out, so it could have been good television there, but got rid of the bee, and in comes Walt.
It's an upgrade.
Oh, well, you got a bee in your bonnet usually, so.
Yesterday. If we did the show yesterday, it wouldn't have been pretty. But today I think I'm all right. We'll see how we go. I
haven't seen that happen. A little 9 a.m. track watering, and then all the times come out slow and heavy. And
yeah, I don't know.
Something's going on.
Well, it was like, so they say they put 1 mil on, right?
Yeah.
So it was either a 6 before they put the 1 mil on, and someone's just had a shocker, or what really is 1 mil. And that's what scares you when they say they put 3 mil on and 1 mil and. Anyway, yeah, we got like a 7 or an 8 or something, and that wasn't why I was grumpy. I was just having a bad day, but so today's all right so far. It depends what DK says.
DK's the Lone Ranger in the studio. Nico's a busy man this morning, but how are you, DK? You're ranting and raving. You've broken the specs before the show.
Mate, yeah, that's right. Yeah, good. I need the lamps. These now turn 50. Everything's going to shit. But no, what about? I'm not here. Nico's I'm on me pat today. Nico's tuning in via the Zoom or whatever it is. But what about, did you see Walt with his new comedy skit or whatever he was doing? Weren't you doing something there, Walt, where you said your bag and jockey didn't mind jockey slaughtering one, then you had your missus tied up in the back of the car or something?
What's going on there?
What about how many people I got where they go, I got abuse saying, yeah, right, you're the biggest jockey bagger ever. Like, they didn't even get the joke. That was the best part. Like, what they think I just got dead people in the boot of the car all the time. But I thought the best one was some Adam Upton, I think, when he gave me the old, did you borrow someone else's car so you didn't look like a multi? I thought that was Beck was straight in with the, maybe it's time I get a new car, John. Oh, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it, mate.
You got to be very careful with comedy these days. You can get cancelled for a lot, but you can't be cancelled by anyone, can you?
I've been cancelled everywhere. You're the only one. So I've gone, this is it. So, I thought it was very tame for what I could have done. Like, she could have been mumbling, and I could have said, "You'll take the gap next time" or something, and given her a slap. But I tried to keep it as tame as possible.
Anyway, he could have accelerated the car and had it tied to the back of it or something like that, just to go right on with it.
Just slapping the legs back in. That was actually the Mrs. Sister.
Full
credit to her. And she comes out. She goes, "Did I do a good job?" I said, "Oh yeah, excellent job, excellent job, excellent, nailed it."
Walt's Twitter account or his Instagram account if you want some racing comedy, but it's not for everyone. Nico, concentrate the wheels here, mate. I'm not sure what I'm dealing with. I got a bloke ranting and raving about his glasses broken. We'll try and get that footage uploaded if Paul had the record button. He was cursing Deluxe. It was hilarious if you were watching in the background. But how are you, brother?
I'm good. I think I'm probably better than the other boys. So, off Zoom today, but hopefully we can still tune into a few winners. Interesting weekend last weekend and a bit of a strip out yesterday, so I'm due.
Nice. Yeah, it's bad news to see the inevitable, come a guts on his last race. Horrible scenes down there in Tassie, but nice surprise packet in the Launceston Cup. Locals got the prize. Promises kept went over for the favourite backers. Looks like it had the race shot to pieces, but there's no such thing as a good thing in racing. And speaking of comedy, multiple people threw this one across my desk, maybe in light of what was happening over in Adelaide and the $5,000 turnover limits in the casino over there with the tabs in the casinos. But a couple of guys went into, I don't know where yours is from, Walt, but the tab terminals, some of them only offer $800 max cash in
per session.
Per session per customer. So you're only now to put $800 into a TAB terminal, which $800 is just a bizarre number. I'm not sure where you pluck that number from, but that's obviously concerning as well. So I can't understand why to be $800, and I can't understand why you're only allowed to have $800.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like a risk thing. I don't think it's them. I don't think it's the tab trying to stop people getting on the tab terminals or something. It's obviously pressure from above, you would think.
But they know your customer stuff, won't it, with cash? I mean, if you walked up to the desk, you'd be able to, and the bloke can look you in the eye and say, "Oh yeah, that I know the guy who's had 10,000 on that thing," like Benny Scarf. But I would have thought that's the reason. It's more the anonymous cash rather than know your customer rules and money laundering stuff. Wouldn't it be, Scoot?
Well, they don't even have people apart from tabs, which is about 4, I think, in Queensland. There's not many left, is there? They don't even have anyone manning terminals here anymore. I went to Tab the other day to back something for the first time in a long time. They don't even have the sound on. They got music on, the 2 TVs with the 2 Sky channels, and that's it. No one near the 2 terminals. And if you want to cash out, good luck. And if you have an issue, good luck.
Well, mine was from Victoria. Where was yours?
No, well, the
one, the photo
it was just Twitter. So yeah, I think it was Victoria as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it looks like every state's got different rules. So I think you can put more through New South Wales, but again, it defies logic for me because if you're that desperate to put the cash through, you'd be able to just hop to different.
Well, I'd say to be venue based too. So if venue's got a bit warm and they're getting a bit of pressure to say, where's this cash coming from? I'd say they're the ones that probably have to put the warning signs up. It's not great, is it? It's not a positive for anyone that I can see anyway. It's just sort of, are they pushing everyone to account betting? I think they are. Yeah. Even in venue, I think they're trying to push everyone to account betting, which is weird. If you had said that 12 months ago, you think they'd be trying to push everyone away from apps into cash, but times are changing.
Yeah, there's just not much incentive for the retail license, and then even the EBTs, they're almost useless now. If that's the limit at 800, DK.
No, that's 1,000%. They're trying to drive all their customers into the account. It's only the oldies probably left betting cash and things like that. So they've got venue mode, so you can walk into the venue but use your phone and do it so we can know what you're doing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's been going on for a while, particularly down here.
There was I reckon there'd be 50 people in the queue at Balnarring trying to bet cash with the on-course bookies, so it's not completely dead. But yes, some of the rules and some of the things are absolutely crazy. Nico, I reckon you could get on Balnarring. Obviously, the percentages would be slightly higher than they were at Caulfield last Saturday, but our old friend Casey from Mintbet, he's down at the Balnarring. I thought the picnic rings were pretty strong, and I think I said to you off air or maybe on this show, I can't really recall if it was on air or off air, but you could get on to win sort of $20,000, $30,000 a horse at the picnics quite comfortably if you handle the cash right. And I saw our friends at Mr. Racing trying to have 10,000 on Mr. Brightside, and Ernie only wanted a couple of thousand. You had to go to 5 different
tickets, right?
Hey?
Yeah, I saw he tried to have 10, and then I saw he had 3 or 4 tickets minimum to spread to get his 10 on. So if you can't get 10 on a thing at 10 to 9 on in a weight for age race, holy shit.
Well, that was crazy to me. Steve Walters, who everyone knows, bookie down at Tasmania, he bets odds to 4,000 on bloody harness racing meets. So heaven forbid if the Melbourne ring can't, or if 1 or 2 bookies can't hold 5,000 each on Mr. Brightside, what are they doing down in Melbourne town, Nico? That's insane.
Yeah, well, I haven't sort of seen any of that or heard any of that, but the picnics you could definitely get on for a good crack there. Just depends on what percentage you're betting into there. A lot of the time, there's rocket high percentages there, but just sort of, I suppose it's different bookmakers. I'm sure if you went to have 10 on Mr. Brightside at a certain bookmaker, like they'd probably take it on track, and it's probably where you sort of land. So I think some of them would definitely take that bet. So maybe he's turned to the wrong way.
I don't know what he's. Yeah, I don't know what he's. I see Ernie. Ernie must have been top odds and knocked him back. I see AD bet him the last 6,000, so I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why he had to spread out the first 4,000 so much, but I saw AD's ticket was 6,000 at 195, so it was the last. They got the last of it on.
They must be the same as the corporates. They must not, because back in the day, you take the 10 and get rid of 3 or 4. You send the bar. They must not have them anymore. It must just be nearly similar to. They're trying to cut costs everywhere, I guess. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, bloody crazy. I thought, but yeah, AD could be the last of the Mohicans, which wouldn't surprise us either. Obviously, set the world tote off too, because it's paid $1.40 on the world tote on Mr. B there. Well,
hard to defend.
That upset you, didn't it?
Hard to defend. I just laugh. You laugh.
Got good traction,
there's a few cases of it. And then someone go, but if you back the 60 to 1 shot, you might get 66s. Oh, mate, please understand that it doesn't matter. It's, if the percentage is higher, at the end of the day, you're going to get reamed. It's just a matter of time. Like if you pluck the 1 in a million that's higher, good luck to you, Oh my God, it's just, and then I don't know, but I saw there's the Gills last dying thing is going to be to have a national tote. I know there's rules around the world tote at the moment; they can't be involved in certain races or whatever. But hopefully that's not part of his rage is bringing in the world tote for all 125. Wouldn't it be nice? 110, Gil. Get 110 in your name, in your brain, not 125.
Go the other way and see how much you can really hold. Fascinating, isn't it? It is a fast-moving landscape, and only backed up more so by Bluebet /BetR. going toe-to-toe or a counter-offer against the Japanese Mixie on the buyout of PointsBet. So I guess TopSport were the first ones, and now PointsBet look like they're going to be bought out by either Bluebet/Betar or Mixie, which is the owners of, I think they own BetM, and they're the Japanese syndicate. So
they've been for sale for a long time, PointsBet. Whether that's just the Australian arm. It can't be the Australian arm, is it? For that number?
Yeah, they don't have any other arms anymore. They got rid of they got rid of their US stuff.
So the US is separated. Well, that's an enormous number from what I was. So I just can't. Where's the value in it?
I think it must be like the tech stack.
The tech stack and maybe current clients. That's it, because you would think their database nearly 100% overlays. So, whoever gets in, we just hope they're a little bit innovative and just a little bit different, because they've obviously worked out they can't beat Sportsbet without growing. They're just going to slowly shrink. So at least they're having a crack at that. Let's just hope they have a crack at a bit of diversity in their product and what they offer and things like that.
Be interesting to see which is the next sort of brand to try and announce themselves. I guess with TopSport and PointsBet, there'd be others below that would be thinking, okay, there's an opportunity for us to try and climb the ladder here as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know that Betar's got the capability to raise the funds to do things like this. I think they've sort of identified PointsBet as one that was maybe, vulnerable and happy to roll over and go away. So there's not too Tristan was shrinking, but the next level, wasn't he? And then there's a big drop off to a lot of the BetMakers crew. I don't really know. Who would you say is in between? There's not really Unibet's too big, has sort of global presence.
Yep.
There's not too many others left to acquire. So once they sort of solidify, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because you'll have the big 3 or 4 and then the BetMakers team, whatever you want to call them, the little guys who, they're always pretty vulnerable, I think. So.
And the other thing, with the PointsBet stuff, their half yearly results came out as well, and we've spoken about it before, Walt. But turnover down 22% year on year from the same time last year, but they've grown their margin from 10% to 13% to which increased their revenue. So we're just going to see it more and more. The turnover down, but the lengths chopping up, the lengths they're going to. Yeah, so they're sort of taking Tristan's leading away, aren't they? He said he had to drop his turnover and increase his margin and make more money out of the customers he had, and seems everyone's doing that as well.
It'll be interesting to see when Aaron Morrison comes off prize money, because that's the next thing that's going to happen. I know that Jason Scott wanted to come off and he's already resigned, and a bit of a mutiny up in Queensland surrounding, I guess, his departure. And, well, yeah, there's only one person stopping prize money coming off in New South Wales, so it'll be fascinating to see what Nick Borden and other people do. But that's the unsustainable part of it. But where everyone's just got their head in the sand and happy to see turnover diminish until we're on bare bones. So fascinating space and moving very quickly. So interesting to see how it washes out. Last week, Oakley Plate, Jimmy Starr definitely saved my bacon.
Bless his heart. Didn't he let loose? Jesus. Hard to make excuses for anything else in that race. He was back with, a striker or whatever. He's at the back, wasn't he? And he up on a couple of unlucky runners towards the inside maybe, but that was about it.
Nico, T-Dogs give any indication where Jimmy Starr's going next, or have you heard?
I think he's gone to the William Reid. So, wait for age, trying to be a Group 1 around the Valley. The Newmarket seemed like it was on the agenda for him, but they don't want to go that way. So, heads to the William Reid. Maybe they think he'd get a bit of weight in the Newmarket, given there's not a lot of probably strength at the top of the weights there, and you have to give the 3-year-olds a bit of weight. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he can replicate what he did on Saturday in, say, a weight for age race, where they're probably not going to go as hard as Mokley Plate, if he can still rip home like he did. Well, he's a very exciting sprinter in this. Probably no reason to say why he can't, because he just seems like that's going to be where he's best placed in life, these sprint races. We saw him even throughout the spring. He was very competitive with another Will. So, I think he's a genuine Group 1 talent at the sprint trips, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won the William Reid and was, a real contender in a TJ and then off to an Everest off the Oakley Plate performance.
Yeah, he was very impressive. Your man's got a bit of a swagger in his step. Wayne Hawkes, DK, after Devil Knight.
Yeah, played him into form, Fonk, didn't I? I was going to say the last one they trained down here, and there he goes and wins the Group 1. But, I don't know about that race. It was 17s beat 20s, beat 30s, beat 20s, 200 to 1, ran 5th. but they didn't run much time, and so I don't know about that group of 2-year-olds.
Did you see J Mac's quote about the Fonk?
What is that?
Everything he says is to be taken with a grain of salt. I thought that was the big fella here. He was coming back at him about his ride in Dubai or whatever. But that's just you need to have a flashcard of that just every time he talks, just to poke it up. I think
grain of salt. Yeah, I thought J Mac handled himself typically with a lot of class versus old Wayno giving him a bit of a spray about the romantic warrior. He's just on a different planet.
It was a 9.75 out of 10 or something, and probably needed a 10 out of 10 to get home. He can't believe he didn't pull it off. Yeah.
Thanks, Wayne.
Anyway.
Silver Slipper, Baywatch, Woderton, poor Uncle Chris hangs K-Mac out to dry yet again.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is he's struggling to hold them, which is never a great sign. And that's the only thing about K-Mac, which, of all the drama against him, either the horse is drawn inside, outside. Once they're getting keen on him and going, he can't hold them. And that was probably the thing that happened with Woderton. You see he was trying to restrain it, he just couldn't. And the United States was the same, he just couldn't. So that's the only thing, about K-Mac. But other than that, he has been hung to dry with all these bad setups and basically, putting on at that stage of prep where they're always vulnerable. So you feel sorry for him. He's a poor bugger, but I think he's such a good bloke. I think it sort of washes off. So hopefully he's not letting it get to him.
Has trouble getting them out as well. Not only holding them, but getting them out of the gate. It's not the fastest away. Some good results last week for us. Cinch was an absolute beauty for Nico down in the Tassie Oaks. Ashfall was a bit of a car crash watch. Swift Falcon looks like he's come back better than ever. Got the PR broadsiding, much to our disgust, Walt.
200 metres in, you knew you were in a bit of trouble, but he probably exceeded what you thought he could do as well. Swift Falcon, didn't he? You think a race like the Doncaster would be at his mercy just about.
Yeah, he looks like an absolute beauty. Haybro for it was a second for DK, so hopefully he can go on better tomorrow at Terang. And then I got Devastate beaten last, but that's Molly and Anacor. Yeah, bit of a horror watch for the lucky last or the get out. We had no luck there. But the good news is there's 110% markets tomorrow, 3 till 4. And so there's 4 races that odds to $5,000. So you've got the Blamey Stakes, which will cover the Guineas, which looks very tricky. And then you got Surround, Lady Shenandoah is in that one. And then you got the Verry Elleegant, which is the Via Sustina. So 4 licks at it for the 110% markets. Make sure you get around them. Best place to shop. Been speaking early in the show about high percentages and not getting the best price. Odds to 5K, there it is for you at TopSport. So you've got to capitalise on that. Nico's going to have a look at the Blamey in the Oz Guineas. You've got a couple of the big races. I think we're going to have a look at the Skyline and the 2 Group 1s, the Surround and the Via Sustina race. Terang for DK. Uncle Robbie has scratched the winner of the last race, our horse Northern Decree. It looked like an absolute Monty in the race. They went up $12 into 8 straight away, and he scratched it. From the biggest gimme ever, he's like nearly away.
Saw him carrying on again the other day. What was he blowing up about?
Who?
Blowing up about a ride or something, was he?
Who?
That clown. The old Roberto, the great Roberto. He's always been a bit of a meow meow. Anyway, good luck to him.
I don't really know what you're talking about there, in all honesty. TopSport Steamers are on a duck, I reckon, for the season. They went 0 from 4, so they're going woeful. But DK, Bank Builder on Friday, Terang Race 4. That's the Tim Clark's, the TC Sheet Metal Plus Maiden, over 1,400 metres. And Express Guard's the horse that you found here, DK. Let's have a look at it. Pakenham last start.
It's in the Yulon colours, and now critically here, or importantly, it's held up in behind them. From the 5 to the 3, when the first 4 that beat it over the line are all got clear air, all got full momentum, and all accelerating hard. This is a heat of a Future Stars final with the two Quinella. This are right in the market tonight to win the final. They zoomed home here, big sections, big back end of this race, the last 600, and Shin's just getting through there late. He's pretty kind to it here, and just that's a nice. Should have finished closer. Nice return by it. This horse had a good rap on it, went around even money odds on debut with Shin on first prep, underperformed as a colt, has come back gelded, tried well leading into that. That's a very strong form race. As I said, that Future Stars, that's a $75,000 race. The first 2 over the line are $4.80 a pick. Second and third picks in the $300,000 final tonight. Astral Flame's a very good horse. So that's good form. And this is now dropping back in class to a Terang Friday maiden and gets the double whammy of the 3 kilo coming off its back down in class. This girl, S. Haitley, she's riding really well. I just went and had a look at her combination. When the Freedmans use her, she's won 4 of her last 6 rides for the Freedmans. They're putting her on the right horses. She's getting the job done. And importantly, there's nothing in the race. It draws a little bit sticky out in 9, but there's a lot of dead wood inside it. So I think it'll be rolling forward, getting up there somewhere, which you want to beat Terang. We saw that when I found a winner there the other week. You want to be up there near at Terang. And this horse is better than Terang Friday grade. As I said, the things that finished around are in the 300,000 final tonight. Not much else in the race. Class Bay improved in a slowly run race with the visor on last start for Archie, and it's drawn for a soft run. It's drawn to be in the right spot, but they've still got flogged 5 lengths by Lady Potato Head the other day. And the Hayes horse, Pat's Bro, it's a debutant. It's trialled all right, but it's got a barrier blanket. It's got earmuffs pre-race. It's obviously got a few issues with its manners. It draws a bit sticky in 8. So I don't think it can beat Express Guard on debut. So, yeah, I thought this is a good bet. This is, gee whiz, I was happy to back this sort of in a something this in a midweek maiden or a Moonee Valley maiden. Oh. And it's ended up down at Terang. So I think, into the any black figures, I think it's probably a good bet. Express Guard.
Nico?
Yeah, like I had it through Terang, and it's sort of the one that stood off the page to me as well. And just on Steph Haitley, she's not like a young apprentice. I think she's probably mid-30s or mid-20s, late 20s. So she's not like she's coming in experienced. You've seen her around. She was like, I think she was a foreman for Freedman for a while. So she knows the game. You can tell that when she rides. Like, she's very mature, sort of in how she rides her races, and he doesn't really seem to be done in experience. Mine, like DK said, she got a good record with the Freedmans. So she had a really nice race on Spear last Sunday at Ballarat, where she just took it straight to the lead. Horse that some jockeys could go way too fast on, she didn't. So yeah, I think although she hasn't had many rides, I think she's a big positive given the 3 kilo claim, because she just seems to ride like a few of the other senior jockeys. So yeah, I think she's easy to find.
Well, Terry Bailey might call us Steph Lovely. You think would he be a fan of Steph Haitley? TB, he's a big fan of the apprentices lately.
Yeah, he sort of put his foot in it there, didn't he? But yeah, I think there's actually a few apprentices relative to a few other years. I think we've actually got a few coming through that go pretty well at the moment. Like Logan Bates had a big summer. I think Steph's probably going to be the one over the winter that gets a real crack in Melbourne. So I think there is a few there that are sort of trending the right way to really make something of it. So yeah, no real other comments I've already said, but I think there actually is a few that have a bit of talent at the moment.
Oh, he's got plenty wrong in his life, TB, but at least he's got the kahunas to actually put his opinion on the line. And I guess, yeah, it's a game built on opinion. So if that's what he thinks, fair enough. And if I was an apprentice, I'd just use it as fuel to motivate myself to go even better. So hopefully Steph gets the job done there at Terang, and DK is off to a winner. But yeah, 4 from 6 from the Freeman camp. No wonder they've put her on. 3 kilos, not much in the race. So Express Guard Terang race 4 is going to kickstart us on Friday. Flemington, if it was only this easy at Flemington on Saturday. Weather looks pretty spot on unless it's changed dramatically this morning, and not only in Melbourne, but Sydney and Brisbane. So it'll only be artificial watering or watering going on the tracks that will create any major problems. But the Blamey Stakes is where Nico's going to kick things off in terms of his best bets. And race 7, it looks like, wow, it's happening a lot. Step Party, it's the Wednesday mover. $4.80 into $3.90. Marble Arch $5.50 in from $7.50. Place to Carousel 7s at Aussie $7.50. Just Folk $8. Plenty of Ammo $8.50. Then you got Nugget $8.50. Attrition $13. Future History $15. And then Poison Chalice $20. Virtual Circle is $41. Stapati's a big market mover, and it's the horse that you like here, Nico. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a good form line here. Chase another wheel, Mr. Brightside. He gets into 3rd. I think he might be a better horse on these bigger tracks. Like, he didn't really seem to handle the corner that low at Caulfield, and then sort of just flattens out late. We saw him run really well at Randwick and Canberra Grange last campaign, and even his last one at Flemington, he ran 3rd to another wheel, and Jimmy Starr not beaten all that far. So I think the horses he's passing at this point in the race, they're probably a little bit tired, and the format of that race hasn't really stacked up. Pinstripe and Freedom Rally were okay in the futurity, but yeah, Mr. Brightside was in a different lead to them. There's not a lot of speed in this race. So from 11, I think he probably has to go. Oh, they could potentially ride him a little bit closer, but I wasn't too worried about the map. He's a tactically versatile horse. If there isn't a lot of pressure, he's got a huge turn of foot. And I think getting to Flemington's a big positive. And dropping from weight for age back to this weight scale is also a positive for him. He goes down from 59 kilos to 55 and brings in the best form. So I thought there's a lot of ticks for him. End of a real strong 1600 would probably be a query, but I don't think it's going to be that strong a run race. It could just be hopefully who has the best turn of foot, which is him. So, I think at that round, that $4 mark seems reasonable for mine. The horse that's a little bit scary is Place the Carousel. They scrapped her last week probably because the track was too firm. So Flemington may be better suited for her. She has trialled really well into this campaign. I probably won't lose on her at around that $6 or $7 mark. I think she can probably be a saver in the race. But I think Stapati, he's just sort of blending down the middle, hopefully slow on race, and he just has too big a turn of foot for him.
Yeah, I had a good look at Stapati, and I'm just not sure Barrier 11, 1600 is exactly up his alley. Zadozi was a horse that interested me. I think she's just an out-and-out Flemington horse. So you can see her just having a quiet trial. I sort of put this down to. You got Lindemann, you got Versestina, Cho Wolf. This form's absolutely white hot, but she's usually pretty good first up. So I'm guessing here, but I thought maybe she's a run behind the mark here, and if it is a trial, I think she can jump onto Flemington 1600 meters and have a different scenario here in a much weaker race. Like all those horses are complete top liners, and the other horse that I thought was a bit of a knockout. I don't have the replay, but because it's a little bit inconclusive, but Attrition last start, they snagged it off a wide draw, and it was a slow track. He just doesn't go a yard really in the wet track. He's much better on top of the ground, but I thought it was sort of a not bad setup here from Mitch Friedman, and I thought from Barrier 3, Bo Merton's back on his regular rider. I think he'll be a complete tactics change there. He'll probably sit one or two pairs back, and I thought he was a massive price at $13. So they were the two that I thought could be value, and that was my worry with Stapati, Nico, the 1600 metres, whereas I know Zadozi and Attrition will eat up every bit of it. What do you think of those two?
I thought Zadozi was a bit plain fresh. She'd run last. I can see the angle, but she just got better deep into the campaign, last campaign, and I think with her and Attrition, they're probably really set for the Australian Cup, whereas a horse like Stapati's probably got to win this and then try and get his way into an all-star mile. So maybe it just comes down to intent who wins this race.
DK, any thoughts?
Well, I think Nico's being very, very kind to say that the Beaten Brigade behind the first two in the CF4 Stakes form just hasn't worked out that well. It's been absolute shite. Samana was horrible in the mannerism. Private Life was terrible in the futurity. So was Super Smink. Southport's Tycoon's been retired out of his effort there. So I've got concerns about that Beaten Brigade in the CF4 behind another wheel and back behind another wheel of Mr. Bright Knight. So I thought that was a bit of a query over Stapati there. I'd sort of tuned into the two mares down on 53 kilos. Placed a Carousel. Listening to Friedman's was a bit of a blessing in disguise. She's pretty full of herself. So taking to the races last week, missing the run with the upgrade and getting her back there again this week might have knocked a bit of that freshness out of her, but she said she's ready to go, and she's got that fresh run behind Versestina on dry. And Marble Arch is airborne, Marble Arch. She's the fit in form. She's won 8 from 21. She's building a really good record. Only Duke de Sessa pulled out that last 100, the big last 100, a roller the other day. So I thought she's sort of the right one to be attacking a Blamey, fit in form there down with no weight. So I was sort of zeroing in on them as something. But I thought looking at those Beaten Brigade in the CF4, I had concerns about that form.
What about you, Angry Red, jockey kidnapper?
Race.
Hey,
what a putrid race!
Is this a benchmark 64?
They should have shipped it up to Sydney and made it worth $3 million. Yeah. It would have fit in. Holy cow! Place the Carousel's the only horse that can go. It's just if it's ready. And probably if your thing Attrition gets up on speed and just keeps whacking, it might outwhack them. But yeah, even like Stapati drawn 11, where's it going to be? Zardozi going to be back as well. It's just, Place the Carousel's the only horse you can back it. It was $15 or something earlier in the week, wasn't it? Like $6.50. Seems still fair, but yeah.
I don't mind Nico's theory about the big track suiting a horse like Stapati, but Poor bugger. He's been to Caulfield, he's been to Moon Valley, he's been to Randwick, he's been to Gong. God, he's a well-travelled sort of horse.
Yeah. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6, 6. There's not many ones there. Hang on, I'm searching.
Well, he won everything when he was early. He won 5 or something in his first.
Yeah, he rushed through that maiden Class 1 grade.
Very consistent. He's a very consistent. But I reckon he only runs probably 15.85 or something like that. Nico, I think you said that, doesn't he? Like he probably want to talk.
There's no pace in this race. So unless there's something that's really like lit up and out of the complete sort of obvious of doing the maps and that, like I think it will be a pretty soft run mile, which it's like he doesn't run a mile. Like he did run second in the Ingham and third in the Gold. Like I think Gringotts or NCAP, if they were in this race, they'd be hard in the market too. Gringotts would be favourite for sure.
Might see Nico jump the fence 50 metres out and just carry him over the line for the last 50.
He's got no weight, which is a big tick too.
Yeah, he's definitely well in.
He'd be leading if he was mine, Sapati.
Carousel.
Because I don't think he'd run past me, so he'd be leading. So he'd be leading. He'd give you his chance to win a race, but I don't think he was going to run past me.
Beautiful. All right, so Nico's confident, and we've all just muddied the waters. So good luck if you're spearing into that one. And we're going to tackle a real doozy. The next one, it's race 8. It's the Group 1 Australian Guineas, 1,600 metres. Angel Capital's the favourite, $3.60. Point and Shoot, $5.50. Sepples is $5.50. Feroce, $9.50. It's been backed. 11 to 9.50. Gold Rush Guru, $13. Savage Lee, $14. Royal Signia, $16. You got Plymouth, $17. Nojola, $18. You got Henline, $21. Another Profit, $26. Savour the Dream Down from Bris Vegas with M. Harley, $31. Then you got Stay Focused, Detroit City. Big tail on this one. Let's have a look at the CS Hayes first. They went pretty fast here. Gold Rush Guru, Stay Focused, and Sepples just peels out and just goes bang.
Yeah, he's too good for him in the end. This race had a real stink for mine. Like I did the yard and I found the 3 fittest horses in the race, which was Royal Insignia, Stay Focused, and Sepples. Like a few of these horses that were first up, I don't know if they have enough time to improve enough to be really like cranked down and fully fit to win this race. So I think like Henline, Feroce, Gold Rush Guru, I reckon they're all sort of set to be third up, which is a bit of a worry. Angel Capital was good here, beats Evaporate. Form out of that looks strong. Also the horse in the Jenny colours, she ran well out of this race as well. So there's a little bit of form here. He had a bit of a PR. It was a slower on speed. He outsprinted his rivals. That's probably the knock. He goes from a slow run 1,400 and potentially a quick run mile. And is he a genuine miler? There's probably some question mark about that. I probably think he's the best horse in the race. And the market's defaulting to him probably because of that. He maps well. I don't know, I didn't really have a feel for the race. Like even Point and Shoot, I would have loved if he drew out a little bit more. Like his wins have been dominant up in Sydney. Maybe welcome talk through them, but I don't know if barrier 1's necessarily a positive.
I think 1's the only way that Gatey can win from. To be honest, I think he needs to suck, get out with 200 to go and go whack. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to circle him over a mile. I don't think he runs a mile. I think he's he and just Angel Capital are similar. They're both coming out of slow run races, and even like Tim, you watch, as soon as Tim sort of eases up, he pulls up like straight literally away, to a walk across the line. So it's got to, and he's done that twice. So I think, I think you're going to be holding on to your pants, but your 1's your chance of life. But it's a huge class rise too, right? Point and Shoot, and Anyway, I'll give my opinion now because I've talked enough. You mentioned it in the thing. I thought Gold Rush Guru was far and away the best run in that race, even though Sepples was the one that raced away from him. It was 4 back the fence. They went 100 mile an hour. It was ridden against its pattern up outside the leader, and I thought on the line it was nearly strongest again. It's the only horse in the race I could possibly back.
Yeah, I sort of like Goldfish Guru as well. I thought he was the forgive run. Maybe sit 1 or 2 pairs further back. Yeah, I think he's the horse. And I thought Sepples was really good. Like he won that with a fair bit of style. Those 2 horses are definitely the ones to take out of it. And I don't know. Feroce I guess it was still there, but it's just going to be funny tactically. Are they going to back off a bit? Because there's a few of these that or a query over the mile, and then is Jamie going to call their bluff, and is Goldfish Guru and Feroce going to both lead again, and then are they going to walk, and then are those two just going to duke it out? Like a fascinating contest, and then does Seppels to sort of steam over the top of him, and then you got the X Factor, which is Savage Lee. He only got beaten by 4 lengths to Here to Shock over in New Zealand. Not sure why Racing.com don't have the rights or can't put the links up on their website for that. Like I think Racing.com show a lot of New Zealand racing. So I was surprised not to see that in the database when I went hunting for replays for Savage Lee, but I was just sort of looking for a bit of DF there, like a bit of different form. And yeah, I can't. I don't think
I'll be... go looking.
Huh?
It's the year to go looking. All this 3-year-old form quite hollow, and it's more about strong mile. I think Angel Capital is 1,400. Angel Capital and Point and Shoot would probably one of them would win. At 16, and as you say, tempo in mind, if they go a little bit quicker, it opens the race right up.
Yeah. DK, what were your thoughts?
Oh, it was only that, I'm an Angel Capital fan, it was only that, whatever it was, 15 lengths slow they went out or something first up. But, I mean, people used to always say to me that, or trainers, if they're resuming over 1,400 first up, the horses are fit. They're fit, So I'm thinking that was a lovely barrier trial, really. So he could, and I'm looking forward to see him get to Flemington. Angel Capital's always been on the tighter track, so I'm really looking forward to see him get to Flemington. But I just wish if it's a bloody test, that could come out to bite him on the backside. That slow pace first up, and then Gold Rush Guru. He's one of mine. I'm not going to add much more. I've tipped him in the Derby. He will be strong at the finish. So yeah, I'd probably take one that's going to be the one with the turn of foot that could probably the best horse, and the one who's going to be strong at the trip. So I'll probably be on those two.
What was your final tip there, Nico, just for clarity?
I don't have any, to be honest. I'd probably tip Angel Capital here. I'll be Yard, and I had 10 looks at this Kiwi. I don't know if he's good enough, but he's very well set up to do something. Maxwell, I think he's probably a little bit deadly. I just don't know if he's any good at the end of the day.
Group 1 Mickey D. All right, I think we've muddied the waters there as well. So
no mud.
What?
Goldfish, all in.
Goldfish Guru.
Please.
Beautiful.
Adelaide form.
Yeah.
Now that the map's retired, we've got to go all in on a new Adelaide horse.
I was surprised I didn't get an invite across for the retirement.
How did you not? They tagged 16 people in the post. You're the only person in Australia's ever tipped the horse, and you didn't even get a start.
No, I was blindsided by it.
Blindsided.
Oh, well. Mushroom kept it in the dark. Probably good place for me. Flemington Race 9 is the other easy race on the card. It's the Inglis Sprint. It's 1,100 metres.
Glad you're covering this
This
race.
is a complete nightmare, so it's good that we're absolute sickos for this. Reserve Bank is the favourite, $4.80. It's drawn wide. They've found Luke Curry for it. Gatsby's $5. It's drawn 11. Daggers is out there as well, $7. Scintilla, $7.50. Certain Rise, $8. Odin Sun inside, so that's $9. You got Elmore Zillow, $10, and then Midnight Dynamite, $11. Hedonist 26. You got Ruta Royale first up here, $31, and a big tail to this race. Could have shown about 6 different colliding form style replays, but I opted to keep the show moving along. And Reserve Bank's barrier trial, Nico will talk us through that, but went like a rocket here with Pivot City, a known good trialer, to his inside, Nico.
Yeah, and this was a really strong piece of work from him. He ends up winning this in the lime colours, but he's jumped out prior. He splits Semango and Jimmy Star. So that looks pretty good form now, given both of them one on Saturday. I just love the way that he got to the line in this jump out. There probably wasn't the real strength to this field, but this just suggests to me he's very fit, and just the way he sort of chimes in down the middle. I reckon this horse could be a real dry tracker. He hasn't seen a good track in any of his runs. He's seen 2 soft 5s, but he's a real acceleration horse. He's got a massive turn of foot, and I think on a dry deck that may be very, very suitable for him. The horse just looks like he's absolutely humming leading into this. His form aspiration was rock solid. He ran second in the Day Hill to First Settler. That was a pretty good sort of form race in behind him as well. Lofty Arch was in that race, who we saw run well on Saturday. Looks like he's come back a pretty strong 3-year-old for the sprinting crop. So I think his form sort of stacks up for this race. He's seen the straight, barrier 19. Hopefully they're not all down the outside fence, and Curry just can sort of park midfield, and then it's just in clear galloping we're in for the whole straight. So, I think if a few things work out in his favour, I reckon he could be the best horse. If you got a massive turn of foot, he was absolutely humming. So I think he'll just need a bit of luck in run, but hopefully from 19 he gets it and he can just let rip down the middle. I think he's best horse. It's just a matter of a few others maybe have a little bit of a fitness advantage on him, but Price Kent, they usually get him fit. The 2 jump out, speed ticks. So I was happy enough to back him.
And the camp don't mind targeting a good horse. Had that good horse in the blue and white that was it run What You Need or something. I think they targeted him to this race as well. So I can definitely see where you're going.
It's a big money race, and it is a restricted race. Like these are all Inglis horses, and once you get away from sort of the first few in the market, it falls away quickly. So I think potentially being out in that wide barrier might be a big advantage because he might not have as many roadblocks in front of him as a few of the others. They got to weed their way through the field when there is genuine like a few 300-1 fences in this race. So I'm happy with that wide draw.
Yeah, it's a good starting point. I think it'll go close. DK, have you had a look at some of these?
Yeah, I had a look at it. I started with him because he just goes like a rocket fresh. And Price Kent, if you're going to find him, I reckon if you're going to find him, you want to find him fresh. And then when he got the peach draw, he really down the straight, drawn out, so you can just see him just charging down the middle. So I didn't have to go much further. Gatsby's has obviously got the run under its belt and had the run. Well, he run 5th or 6th in the Coolmore over the spring, so he's got that form out of the Group 1. So he will be some testing material. But fresh. I think as Nico said, the fresh legs with the best horse could just be outsprint him late.
Yeah, I can see the angles there. Makes sense.
Two Opes, Elmore Zillow and Scintilla.
Oh, tell us a little bit more about Scintilla. It's obviously taken all before it, this preparation. It's what?
Les doesn't travel them too often. I thought she'd go to sort of a filly sprint race or something. 1,400 back to 1,200 I'm not worried about because that was a joke. Barrier trial last start. They just all set up and let Brock do his thing. But yeah, even the horse that it gapped there, Flying Thinker, came out and won the last yesterday. That's not too exciting. But no, I think she's a pretty good filly, Scintilla, and probably poorly in at the weights. I haven't even looked at the benchmarks here, but I think she's just extraordinarily well set up. She'll be so strong, 1,200 down the straight. Like she just looks like a bomb-proof filly. I think she'll run very well, and she may get to a silly price come race day. All these better form lines. I just don't like any of that 3-year-old. I think Gatsby's was horrific first up. That race, it was like a sit sprint which didn't suit public attention. It's beaten them. If it couldn't beat those horses there, I know that's good form, but is it good form? I don't think it is. Daggers, Miler, all those horses just look, even Reserve Bank 1,200 first up to me is a big ask. Whereas, this horse has got a good fitness base. Scintilla 14, the 12, 2 spits 14, back to 12, wide draw. Geordie Child's beautiful. And Elmore Zillow's the best horse in the race for mine. Just an absolute nightmare of a creature. And if it put it all together, it could just gap him. But its run was good in the Sunshine Coast with not a lot of luck behind Prince Harry, who would dead set start $1.20 in this. But I think both of them very well placed.
Yeah, I was sort of I was dead set confused and not a lot of confidence here. But the one horse I loved the replay of was Elmore Zillow at the Sunshine Coast behind Private Harry. Settled back, sort of got lost, weaved away through on the fence, and then sort of got stood on her head 250 metres out and started to look like she was going to take ground off some of those leaders. So you got like Private Harry, later Camelot, Arabian Summer, who've all gone pretty good or have got, pretty big raps about them. I just thought the straight track would really suit this.
Or just been sick filly to see this horse hit the straight its whole career.
Yeah. So with Craig on and gets a pretty decent jockey upgrade, and I'll just be smoking the pipe somewhere in behind him. And I thought, she could sort of blow him away, hopefully. But not a race I've got huge confidence, but I've got more confidence with you, Pretty keen on as well, because I think we've mentioned it too. She just had this horror prep going back and forth to Brisbane and Sydney when she was racing in all those top class races, and she just hasn't had a lot of luck in her.
Weird rider choices sometimes. Then Willow's got on, things haven't gone away, and she's always run well. She's just a tough filly.
Yeah, tough grey. Old grey. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. So Reserve Bank is the way that the boys down in Melbourne are going. Interesting 1,200 first up, maybe a little query, but as the boys say, Price can't crank them up early. Scintilla's a big watch, and also Elmore Zillow. And Nico will have his eyes on the horses in the yard as well. So head to Nico's Yard on Twitter if you want more of his late mail. Some of these races have been, at Flemington, absolutely diabolical, and Caulfield. There's just so much changing. So get the final say with him, and he'll give you the updates from the track, and he'll give staking advice as well. So great service, Nico's Yard. Make sure you find it on Twitter. Walt, Randwick on Saturday. There's some few slipper lead-ins, and probably the most interesting is the Skyline Stakes. I thought it's race 4 at Randwick, and weather fine, and TopSport market is Shaggy $2.15 in from $2.35. Rivellino out of the Inglis race up there $5.50. Comedy $5.50. Skyhook $8.50. You got Quietly Arrogant $12. Algorithmic $13. Hilly at $20. Similar quote for Peleus, and then Valedictorian 21. Nielsen Park out the gate at $41. Shaggy's got a stranglehold on this one, and I tell you what, he's a professional little horse. He sort of jumped, went forward.
Karen drove him mad, and another horse drove him mad there.
Yeah, and then he just sort of clicked him up and bang.
Yeah, the only probably negative is the horse behind the leader looked the danger, pops out here and then just doesn't hit the line. There was nothing really else. I think it's Comedy coming down the outside in the blue. They did sort of control the speed. It wasn't a fast run race, but only because it was sort of an even tempo and they quickened off it. So, yeah, it's a good effort from Comedy, and Skyhook second from the outside there as well. So Skyhook draws 1 here. Comedy draws, I think, 5 or 6 or something. The key is that Shaggy will probably lead and control again, and, super fit horse that's it's going to be the one they've got to run down again. It's pretty much similar. That's it. Rivellino's drawn wide. Quietly Arrogant, I thought, was the horse that could improve significantly. It's sort of been dragged out, trial good since we saw it last start, and J-Mac goes on it. So if they give him a license to put the horse into the race at any point, it's probably second pick. And then Comedy said probably gets back again, but is dangerous. I don't know if Josh had the choice between the two. J-Mac goes on Quietly Arrogant, so maybe he didn't. Skyhook, Gate 1's going to get its chance. Algorithm, it can improve, but they've all got to improve to get to Shaggy, so I can't argue with, I'm not going to oppose it at $2.20 or whatever it is. I think that's probably fair. If you like something to beat it, there's a few horses there that can certainly improve. It's an interesting race, but I'd be surprised if Shaggy wasn't couple in front with 100 or so to go, and something's going to have to put up a decent performance to run him down. The only query is he's like, what is he, 4th run into the prep? He's had an 800 here, then he went to go Sunshine Coast, and he's been around the grounds a bit. So, you'd love a Nico overlooking it in the yard to make sure that he's all still there in the yard probably before you want to take the short odds. So that's probably my best advice for him, because he could be close to the cliff's edge at any point. So, it's interesting. It's not a race that I've got too excited about. I thought Quietly Arrogant each way was probably the option if you wanted to sort of 1x44 if you wanted to play in the race early.
Yeah, I thought Algorithmic was a fair run.
It's good
on debut. I'm not sure about 1,000 metres, but Bellazine, Baywatch, Extractor,
and Extractor was unlucky, wasn't it? But Baywatch was come out, smashed him. Bellazine's in the thing, was the Sweet Embrace or whatever it is. And it'll go around favourite there. So I had a good look at it too. I thought it went nearly as well as anything in the first 4. That was a controlled speed. You need to be sort of up and off that day where it wasn't. So it was a very good run. And as you said, there's just a few of those horses that could jump out of the ground here. Similar to the Sweet Embrace, there's quite a few in that too. So, yeah, intriguing 2-year-old race on Saturday. Not a lot of value in Shaggy, but he's the one they've got to run down. So
beautiful. Nico, any thoughts? Some of these 2-year-olds?
Yeah, I sort of went looking for the algorithmic as well. Like Shaggy, he's just going to jump on the lead and you're going to come and get him. Maybe there is one that can jump out of the ground. And I thought it might be him. Like, he was really good on debut. Just settling back in the field. We saw last weekend, Hawks second up. So, it might be the right time to find them.
Hell might freeze over. Imagine if Team Hawks win the Blue Diamond and the Slipper in the same year, and then Bjorn's just given Waller a short back and sides, and Gage just nowhere to be seen. What a world.
We'll get to the highlight race of the year is the last thing we'll talk about here, but we'll get there.
DK, any of these 2-year-olds float your boat?
No, short and sharp. Sorry, Scoot. Salmon.
No worries. All right, there you go. So Shaggy horse to beat, but Algorithmic and Quietly Arrogant off his big forgive there at the Gold Coast. It was some sort of task that they set it last time. He'll definitely like the J-Mac upgrade and another crack at it for sure. Race 7 at Randwick is the Group 1 Surround Stakes, and it's Lady Shenandoah's got a stranglehold on the market here. They bet $1.80 or $2 early in the week. It's down to its probably right price, $1.50. Lady of Camelot, $4.20. Lilac, $16. Manal, $19. Lazura, $21. Amelita, $34. Delici Boulevard, $34. You got Dominetta. More territories, back to our own grade. And Powers of Opal, Stanya, big tail to that one also. Lady Shenandoah, pretty bullish run here. Walt.
Yeah, so Lady Camelot controls out in front. This is as good as she can go. His blinkers on, had a fitness edge. It was a good ride from Zach. He did what he was supposed to do, sort of carted across into the 1-1, and then the race was over. And yeah, he sort of let it go through a gears. I think I watched it a few times to see whether he touched it with the whip. I don't think he did. I think sort of there, it looks like he sort of slaps away a bit, and that's about it. He sort of waves it at her, and away she goes. There's nothing really screaming out back in the pack to me that they can turn the tables, and the second horse out to 1400, even with the blinkers off, doesn't really look like it's going to. Just to be the dagger in the back of them all. Lady Shenandoah draws 3 or whatever it is again, so that she's going to land right there and stalk the heck out of them. So that's the only replay you're going to watch. I don't think there's much you go looking for placings here. I thought was probably the best, and there's 10 horses that are the same horse. It's quite difficult to find the second pick. I thought Castagna actually went pretty well in comparison to just about all of those horses there. Sort of Delici Boulevard, Azura, I think Amelita was there as well. And it's 70-1. So I just think sort of $15 a place or something, or $12 or whatever she is probably an interesting option. The other thing tin hat wearing John would like to sort of mention here is that if Cody Morgan had 2 horses in the race at the start of the week here that were basically 6-4, take your pick, and one of them went around in the trial on the Tuesday or the Monday, and then one of them was $2.40 to $1.70, and then they came out with an announcement to say that not only is the other one not running this Saturday, but it wouldn't be running for 5 weeks, and it'd be in a 1200, not a 1400. Would there be a few whispers around that someone knew something they shouldn't have?
Oh, well, I don't know. You can't really get on for much, but it'd probably...
I think you can when they're 6-4.
Oh, can you? You can get on?
Oh, who cares? But it's just... What is that? It's just a weird one that Autumn Glow looked like it was hard in the market here, hard in the market for the Princess Series. And they've said that she's not only not going to run here because she's not fit enough, that she's going to have 5 weeks until her next run. It'll be 1,200 metres, not 14. I thought it was very obscure.
There's a lot of that stuff going on in New South Wales, but that's what happens in New South Wales. It's a funny joint. Amelita is the horse that I'd back for the place, but Reece Jones is not very exciting for me, so maybe it'll be not today. They might just coil her once more and then maybe change things up, or she might dodge Lady Shenandoah somehow. Nico?
Yeah, not much to say. Like, how could they beat her? Like, she just annihilated him. There's just nothing fresh sort of coming at her. So, yeah, price is probably reasonable, and she probably wins in a similar manner, and there is probably a real argument or case to be made that she's the best 3-year-old, and off the way she won first up, she may have even returned even better. So, the ratings men could just be absolutely frothing on Saturday.
You do wish Autumn Glow went around. That was kind of I think everyone wanted her to run around. That was the thing. She does look like a machine.
DK loves it. He just set off here. Randwick race 8 is the next one. Group 1, Very Elegant, over 1,600 metres. Via Sistina, Shock Horror is the favourite here, $1.80. The market loves her. Fangirl, $3.50. Cho Wolf, $5. Interesting to hear Joe Pride saying not wait till third up, fourth up. So bit of a signal of intent. They'll probably just neck him here, $5. Lindemann, $14. Zara Chem, $34. Golden Path, $41, 61, 71. Land Legend, Fort Park, Arapaho. A couple just cranking up for something further. But Vesistina Fangirl, we just saw the replay earlier when I was referencing Zadozi. But awkward spot. Probably hard to beat second up though now.
Yeah, the barrier draws really make it interesting again. Obviously, the big difference is that J-Mac goes on via Sistina. I think Fangirl draws 5. There's no speed whatsoever again. Lindemann just does whatever they want it to do out in front. Golden Path probably keeps the company but can't really press the tempo. So does Fangirl land 2 or 3 lengths in front of Via Sistina, or does J-Mac say stuff that and lob straight outside of Lindemann and just control the race and win? I don't know why they wouldn't. I don't know what would stop J-Mac just lobbing straight outside Lindemann here. Mile, they obviously not going to go quick. I don't understand how it could possibly hurt her preparation. She's not a horse that has to settle, or is not bomb proof. I can't see why they wouldn't have a look at it from the gate that she's got, especially if Joe Pride's come out. Consider it's weird. First up, he's half bullish.
Yeah.
And then dropped it out and was going to spread him. And now he's saying third or fourth up. So maybe it's gone a little bit dour. Maybe stepped the work up into it and it's starting to be a little bit more one pace and they're going to look after it. I thought it was a chance of rolling forward and setting the cat amongst the pigeons, but listening to him, you'd say no. So if you knew that Via Sistina is going to be outside leader here, even money's a great price. If not, then maybe there shouldn't be too much between her and Fangirl again, and the betting's probably pretty close to the mark. But it's a game of tactics, this race, purely tactics.
Nico, have you got anything to add or firm via camp?
Yeah, well, I took a bit of 250 a few weeks ago, so I'm already on, but I probably would have loved if she drew a little bit better gate, but she just has to improve from that first up run. Came back to J-Max, a big positive for mine, and off the way this race sort of sets up again, if it is a slow run race out to the mile, she had a little bit more luck last start. She goes very close to getting within, a length or even closer of Fangirl. I think out to 1,600 if she can just sort of have an uninterrupted run. Well, she's the winner for mine. There's, she's probably going to trend down towards maybe $1.90, $1.80, even shorter, given her ratings last campaign. So, the opportunity to back her is probably gone, but I'm already on. And I think you could really forecast a fair bit of improvement here second up. And if she gets beat, it's probably just she got too far back or found a bit of bad luck. I think if everything's even off the tempo, she probably still does round her up.
Pretty much agree. I think the chance to back Fangirl is first up, and even if she gets away with it on Saturday, it's more active than anything. I agree with Nico.
Yeah, I've got less than zero interest in this race, so maybe a little bit more, but I'll just have a cup of tea and sit on the pine with DK and...
Hey, just get ready for the last. The Toyota fan club forklift handicap. The Toyota forklift handicap. We've got Air Bjorn, last race Air Bjorn.
Versus?
He's got 2 in there, and Waller's put 8 runners in it, mate.
To try and win.
Well, he must have got the heads up from the big dog that that's going to be the Toyota hand. They're going to put it on as the showcase race of the day, the last race, because I couldn't work out why you would have this low pox race as the last race of the quaddie just to drive everyone in the world insane. But now it's become the grudge match of the century. The Toyota forklift handicap, 8 times Waller versus Air Bjorn, last race Bjorn. And everyone in the nation it'll be like the 320 on Melbourne Cup Day. Everyone in the world will be tuned into this race to see whether Air Bjorn, mate, he would rather win this race than the Melbourne Cup, Bjorn, I reckon. He would act like he could do a somersault off the top of the grandstand if he lobs here, and I hope he does. He's got a couple of good chances in the race.
He's a beautiful mind, John Walter, and you can subscribe to that 24/7 and you get the comedy acts with the jockey kidnappings in the boot. There's lots of stuff there. Goes off his Discord channel, and obviously his Telegram stuff's really good as well. So you can just get those tips 24/7. He doesn't sleep, and he may not have slept last night. But I think the reason why they've put that on is because there was a truckload for Birdman, and they just know that a lot of people probably pile into that.
Coco Beware, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Birdman.
But why do they do it? Yesterday there was the worst 2400 in the history of the world. They whack it in the quaddie. Honestly, is there a reason? I don't get it. Even if you don't have to put your feature races last 2, why can't you put something of interest as the last race? Why do they put these weird races last race of the quaddie? There has to be a reason. I just have never had anyone explain it.
Yeah, it sounds silly to me. I don't know why. They're doing their utmost best to destroy the quaddie, and
if you put all those 4 or 5 solid races, 4 last races, you would spend more time. You'd invest more money. Naturally, to me, I don't think you, as a punter, do you invest more money in the quaddie if there's a lottery in the race? Like you go look at this race and you go, oh my god, I'd rather have a cup of tea, I'd rather stab myself. Surely that doesn't encourage you to invest more in a betting option. I don't really understand the logic.
Yeah, no, I reckon. Yeah, you might be right. I might have dropped the ball, but anyway, I guess that's my only explanation.
Because we're a positive group of people here. Yeah, we found a positive in it. The Toyota handicap, Bjorn versus Waller.
Hopefully, they can have a cage match or a jelly wrestle.
Holy shit!
Pre-race, that'd be good. Bit of entertainment.
Bjorn might power lift him now that he's the T-Rex champion of the world or whatever he is.
Yeah, it'll be a good spectacle. Speaking of the last race, let's get to the favourite. It's our favourite segment of the week, or it's mine at least. It's EagleFarm. It's race 10. It's an absolute airball from Uncle Robbie Heathcote, Northern Decree, who we've tipped on the show and said it was a horse to follow. I think he had 56 kilos against these and would have stepped up 1,400, 1,600 and probably put a hole in him, won by margin. Instead, he's going to go to a harder race over 1,400 metres, and he's no good thing there. And he was half the price. So thanks, Robbie. And I think what Robbie's trying to do is he's trying to just go the full greed. He's trying to win the 1400, and then because he's got Cunnamulla Falla and Just Flying in this one, he's going to try and win 2 races for the day. And you know what I think is going to happen? He's going to win 0. He's going to get beaten in both of them. So greed's no good, and hopefully
he's just looked at the prices,
we get it right.
He's just looked at the prices and thought,
I don't know what he's thinking. Cunnamulla Falla's the favourite here, $3.10. Tenzing $5. Just Flying been $8.50 into 5. Whiskey Dream $7 in from 10. You got Rising Pacific $12. Yet He Moves 14. Viminelli 15. Super Chilled 15. You got Binding, Kabosh, Master Copy, Galifianakis, and Mahagoni out the back of the betting odds here. And it's sort of been the Tenzing and Cunnamulla Falla just going toe to toe for the last couple of starts, but I'm sort of jumping on the back of Rising Pacific. He's the Australian bloodstock who just sort of did the big left-hand turn there, and he does really well here. Off cardiac arrhythmia, off a break, and then just rounds them up here over 1,400 metres. And I thought he's a horse that's definitely looking for a mile based off this run, and I thought that was a pretty good effort off a little bit of a break. And then once we go to his next start, when he jumps up to 1,600 metres, you've got the winner here, Tenzing, in the blue cap, and you got Rising Pacific, who's been posted the entire time, coming to his outside, and then Cunnamulla Falla's got the drop on both of them. So he meets them both better at the weights. He's likely to get I don't think he's going to be 3 wide this time, but there he is, still whacking away with both of them. You have to take $3 if you want Cunnamulla Falla, $5 with more weights Tenzing, and if you switch those runs around, I think Rising Pacific's got him beat. So he's now, I'm going to call it third up here versus these other horses that are fourth and sort of fifth up. So all the improvements in Rising Pacific here. Mallion's a decent jockey. There's couple of jockeys just, I think Ange Jones is rubbed out at the moment. Ormond's gone to Hong Kong. So the ranks are really thin at the moment. CJ Graham rode 4 winners and she nearly rode 5 last Saturday. So it was a real funny day at Doomben last week. There was a bit of a breeze, so the inside was a bit of a travelator. But I think this horse, Rising Pacific, now that he's got that mile run under his belt, if he gets a bit of a half-suck run and the other two are just worried about each other, I think he can finish all the top of them. And $12 is just the best each-way bet you can find. And hopefully we can we'll do a bit of luck on this segment. We just need even luck, and I reckon he can be the finish.
Back to 12-1 winner 2 weeks ago.
Hey?
It's a 12-1 winner 2 weeks ago. We all but declared it. You would need some luck. Jesus Christ. Short memories here.
Oh, he still had to win on the worst part of the track. So
Last week was a shocking race, horrendous. And this race is not much easier. So you can only deal with what you've got to deal with. But I think you found the best option again in a diabolical race.
I spent enough time on it.
Yeah. It's always like, I just hate when a horse wins like it did 2 starts ago and they beat a wall like that. It's never usually good. But I think, still it looks like the right form. But it's probably going to be similar. That's your problem. It's going to be a flying V of 27 horses up the last 100 and you just hope it sticks its head out.
Just Flying is probably going to be the leader. Barrier 12, I guess Emily Lang will just spear across. She's riding all right. But yeah, they're going to have to go pretty slow for her to win. Progressive, but seems to be a rung below this. Can make small cases for Yeti Moves if you're looking for a big wide quaddy leg. Wouldn't shock me. Super Chilled had a trial last start at Ipswich. Master Copy, probably a rung below. And then the Galifianakis and Mahagonis, I've seen worth $31 and $34 chances, but yeah, the top 3 probably have got the class edge here, and I'm putting Rising Pacific in that top 3.
You better have a little chat to Jason before he moves on, mate, to make the last race of the day a little bit better quality for you, would you? So you got something a bit better to work with? That'd be his last little bide and pardon. Could you just put a little nice race on each Saturday for you to work with?
And the minimum bet limits, especially if you're getting a bit of consolidation among the bookies. He needs to put an extra 1,000 on. So.
We'll just slide them in, don't tell anyone, and we'll just we'll do on the down low.
I didn't bump any RQ guys when I went to the harness thing.
I didn't see the trot thing either. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, that's right. You didn't invite me. I forgot about that. Yeah, was it good, the trot thing you didn't invite me to?
Yeah,
I appreciate it. That was great.
Yep, I didn't think it'd be your cup of tea.
Oh, how would you know? Because you didn't invite me.
We've got TopSport big bets to go. And the first one here is, these are mostly for you, Nico, so strap yourself in. Race 3, number 7, she's got Pizzazz.
Yeah, it looks so race to it. It's a little bit up for grabs there. She's sort of also a key chance and couldn't really knock her the way she's come back this campaign.
1,000 might be a little bit short for her, but she's got plenty of talent and upside. I know, Scoot, but I think Moody trains it, doesn't he, Nico?
Yeah.
I'm tipping Billy Egan won't be riding it then.
Yeah, interesting. Flemington race 6, number 11 is in Enexudo. Is this one? It's Robbie Griffiths D Lane. 700 at 390. Drifted since.
It's up a fair way in grade, but he's won his last 2 in pretty impressive style. But they've both been in the midweeks. Now strikes an 84, but there's just not much in the race. So I was going to actually come in here into Kappa 39. He's been 17 to 12. He sort of looked the one to my eye that was over the odds of giving around second. Is it me last start, which is stronger form than a few at the top of the betting have. And Name Drop has been well back too. He has drawn wide, but probably cross and lead. So I think he's short enough for a horse that's coming out of midweek class, Tonto.
This next one could be yours, in fact, Nico. Race 7, number 7, Stapati, 500 at 480. So that's the bet that set off 480 into 380. Is it yours?
No, it isn't mine. Not my bet there, but I can think 480 is a good price. I think come race day, you might be taking high threes, just off his form lines. Interesting
to see where he settles in run. EagleFarm race 9, number 6 is the next one, and wow, this has been some sort of move here. Mullane, 800 at 340 is the bet, and he's into 260 at TopSport. You got Termagant, $2.50 in this race. It's got Nikita Berryman, drawn barrier 1, so that's a nightmare scenario for Termagant. And anyone that follows Queensland racing would know that Termagant had 0-0 luck and was sort of climbing all to the top of him 2 starts ago. And barrier 1 for that horse, I think it'll be a similar scenario. That said, they do get off the fence a lot, and the fence has been a little bit off, a lot off actually, at EagleFarm recently. So we'll have to win from the worst sort of going. I thought Mullane, I sort of had him pegged as a bit better on a rain-affected track. I think he's sort of placed all right in his Class 6, but yeah, this to me looks like a bit of a raffle outside of that. Warby goes okay. You got Dempsey on it, and then you got High Bar, Duplessis, Pizarro's a bit of a cat. Real bizarre race this one. So maybe the Mullane money is spot on there, but I'd be wary with Termagant. I don't think Nikita's riding that flush either. And the last one here is Morphettville race 8, number 9 is Porter. It's 600 at $4.20 here. I think this also got a little bit of ability, but
crosses the border from over here. It's a leader. It's got no weight there, but you're just charging. Just charging in there and just going to cop. It's got speaking of Kappa 39, the thing Nico likes. It's dual accepted in the race. It's $4. Titan of Choice is dual accepted in the race. Both are drawn well. Both are run at Flemington, so you're going to get deductions for $4 and $6 in your off your 420 there, which is part of betting early, I suppose.
Yeah. But, it is me form, and Rochelle Milnes rides pretty spot on there. So maybe tread carefully and bet after scratchings. And Saturday morning after scratchings is a pretty good time to bet because you avoid all that nastiness.
After they've just watered the track in Sydney and you know where you're at.
Funny things happen in North Korea.
I was waiting for Peter Lawrence to chime in. I see that he's just started chiming on Twitter about the track yesterday. It should open a big can of worms. Get in there, son.
Beautiful stuff. That's the beauty of Twitter, and it's the beauty of racing. It's all these opinions just colliding. So long may they play. Everyone plays to their opinion. Anyway, good luck on tomorrow at DK with Terang. Hopefully young Miss Haitley keeps going with her strong record there. 3 kilo claim. Get the chocolates in race 4. Nico, you'll be up and about for Flemington, so good luck from the yard there. Hope it provides a lot more clarity, and you seem pretty well. And Grumple Stiltskin, hope you get the quaddie.
Hope to find something, because so far no good. There's very, very plain meeting there, but there's plenty of races between and plenty of races after.
All right, make sure you head to TopSport 3 till 4 for those 110% markets. If you're not playing in those markets, you're MAD, and they're betting to win for $5,000. So they're still having a crack, which is good to see. Good from the guys down there. And Tristan, it's wonderful work that they do. All right, we'll see you next week, and make sure you're back a couple of minutes.